Hey everyone, welcome back to this podcast. And if you're new here, my name's Ella. I am a nurse who is aiming to spread advice to those to prevent them to getting to the ill sort of health that leads them to hospital. And that includes all things health, wellness, mindset, anything that will ultimately improve your life. So I'm going to talk about how to glow up. I chose to discuss this topic because I think it's quite a hit or miss topic. Obviously, people's version of a glow up is different, blah blah blah. And I obviously don't want anyone to think that they need to glow up ever, because that's not exactly the state of loving yourself. But the reason I wanted to address this topic was because with the uprising industry of aesthetics and all these routes to change how you look, I thought it would be ideal to address this as a sort of eye-opener to those that the first initial route doesn't always have to be aesthetics. So I want to teach you today how to glow up holistically. Now, this is all, a lot of it might come across as quite obvious advice, but at the same time, I feel like people don't understand how much it actually does impact essentially how you look. Now, before I start, I want to just disclaim that in this day and age, it's obviously become quite a big thing how we look. Now, I remember saying this to my family once, or not. I don't remember what I was saying. I think I was just having a breakdown, like, I'm so ugly, you know, that sort of breakdown. And my mum was like, "Why do you care so much about what you look like?" And it is simply because this era with social media and everything, it has become drilled into us that we should worry about what we look like, and it's a shame, but it's something that we're not going to change, unfortunately. So initially, I want you to first of all stop caring about what you look like, because it shouldn't matter. It really shouldn't. Why are you letting how you look affect how you feel, affect all this, blah blah blah. Secondly, change your perception, blah blah blah, all that sort of stuff. You can change your perception of how you view yourself, because it's most likely wrong. You are going to be harsher on yourself than anyone else is, and how you view yourself is not how anyone else views you, okay? So your perception is probably a lot worse than the actual reality, so change it. And I also just want to disclaim, this isn't me saying, one, that I've had a glow up, two, that I've not been there. I daily have debates with myself about getting so much work done, because I know the option's there, and it's so hard to not do it when it's literally there, knowing that you could look better instantly. And I also just want to say, this is not me saying that there's anything wrong with getting anything done, because there isn't. If you want to get work done, get work done. Me personally, I am trying to prevent myself from doing that, but that is just genuinely my own opinion. This is just more for awareness that there are other routes to a glow up that don't cost as much money and actually just beneficial for your general health. So let's start. So firstly, there's obviously movement. I feel like that is almost a given. That movement is obviously going to sort of improve your physique, your mentality, and all that. Now, when I say movement, this can literally be going for walks, doing low impact movement like Pilates, which I've started doing, and I must say the benefits, I don't know if the thing is, because I end up switching up so much in my life at once, I never know which one is the thing, and that has sort of helped. But these are also just things that I've noticed recently that I've done that have almost helped me feel better about myself. So yeah, physical movement, weightlifting, low impact movement, walking is always good for you. Try and walk most places. We are, as humans, we're actually not, well, we obviously are designed, but back in the olden days, we didn't get lifts everywhere. We walked everywhere. We're not made for sitting down, and in this day and age, we spend so much of our life sitting down with our jobs and everything like that, or to relax. So just getting out there and going for a walk is so beneficial and is what we're made for. And not only that, getting out in nature for to calm your nervous system is just an added benefit. And exercising, you're obviously releasing the correct hormones to improve your mental health, which will help you ultimately view yourself in a better aspect. I'm not going to go too much into that one because I feel like that is almost a given and everyone knows about blah 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 movement. And also I don't like focusing on movement too much. One, because I don't like focusing on physique too much because everybody's different, everyone's goals are different. I'm not getting involved in that because it's such a sticky topic, to be honest. Likewise with food. Food's also a sticky topic. But obviously it would be wrong to not state the fact that movement is so beneficial for you. That leads me into my second point, which is mindset. Now, this means, when I say this, I mean changing your mindset in terms of changing it on yourself and your outlook of life and your perception, just so that you are happier, more glowing. Once you change your mindset, you ultimately glow. That is the one thing that I have probably changed the most in the past year or so, is my mindset, and that has changed my life the most. Whether it's because I've changed my perception or because it has being positive has brought positive things into my life, it is the big be all and end all for me. And that's another reason why I don't like going into movement too much, is because I think people focus too much on movement and not enough on mindset, but actually it all comes and starts with your mindset. So along with mindset comes with confidence. If you've got the right mindset, you can have the right confidence. And with confidence, you can fake it until you make it. Once you walk around with more confident energy, the room will notice. People will notice that you've got that confident energy. Whether it's real or not, it's almost like everything changes, honestly. And when you look more confident, I don't know what the science is, but you appear more attractive. Trust me. So the third point that I make is internally. And what I mean like by this is what you put in your body. So drinking enough water, drinking teas. There's some teas that you can have, like dandelion tea, that can flush the water retention in you. So teas are also good. What you eat, and this is, again, like I said, I don't want to go too deeply in this, but whole foods. Eat your whole foods. Cut out your processed foods. And I don't mean just mainly mean ultra processed, because it is difficult to go and shop and not pick up something that's processed. But maintaining a whole food diet has changed the game for me. Not only have I noticed a maintenance in my weight, but your mindset. It's, now, don't get me wrong, I love a Chinese and I will get myself a Chinese if I want a Chinese, but notice how when you get a takeout, you feel like shite, because you're eating bad food, and when your gut isn't happy, you aren't happy. So that's why moving to whole foods, not only is it good for your physique, it's so beneficial for your mentality. A happy gut really is a happy mind. And like I said, once you're happy, you're glowing. And all of these come together, you're glowing and you're having a glow up. Now my fourth point, and this one probably is one that has significantly helped me, but mainly because I was in such a bad place with it before, is my nervous system. Now what I mean by this is slowing down. I have always struggled with stress because I just love to try and fit so much in my day that I was just constantly feeling stressed. But this also meant that I was rushing everything. And it wasn't until I actually saw a video on TikTok where someone was like showing them like doing their moisturizer and like rubbing it in, and they were like, that's not being slow, that's you being in your fight or flight response. So when you're walking, you're brushing your teeth really quickly, when you're putting moisturizer on really quickly, when you're doing everything quickly, you're in a fight or flight response, which is a stress response, which is increasing your cortisol levels. That adds puffiness to you, and it gives you brain fog, and it affects your energy levels and all this sort of stuff. So calm your nervous system with activities such as grounding, which is going outside and standing on the ground and just being in nature. Just simple things like going for a bath, reading, just all those things that can take you out of the fight or flight response and calm yourself. These will all lower stress levels, because stress levels is not only negative for you in the moment, but it's negative for your health overall, and is the one thing that's going to decrease your longevity. Like I said, this was always an issue for me, and since doing this, my skin has cleared, and I feel like I have somewhat lost puffiness on me. We're getting there anyway. I'm still not totally de-stressed. Obviously I'm a nurse, so I'm still trying to work on not getting stressed out at my job. It's getting difficult, but It's an aim and I'm going to get there. But that, and also I just wanted to say as well, people don't realise the sort of things that it affects as well as the strength of your nails. My nails are so strong, just saying. And your hair. Exactly a year ago, I cut my hair to here. Was it there? It was somewhere, it was very short. It's been a year, and to me, this isn't right. Like, it does, in my head, it hasn't grown much. Then I think, actually, people have been trying so long to grow their hair this quickly. And also, if I do say so myself, it looks quite healthy. And on top of that, I am awful at remembering to put in hair masks and all that. So it quite literally is just from what I like to say, my internal health. So this is what I mean when I say implementing habits such as slowing down and calming your nervous system really does benefit you externally. So number 5 is living a non-toxic life. Also to add in that, I just want to say, obviously, getting enough sleep is also beneficial. I actually have recently stopped drinking as much. That contributes to better sleep, and it contributes to limiting your cortisol levels, as well as just giving me more energy and draining puffiness. Now that is very much a personal choice, which is why I'm not going to go into it too much, because I can understand why people don't want to. And to be honest, sometimes I think, oh, am I really a bit too young to do that? But do you know what? I realise I'm so much happier this way, because I can go to events without drinking. It doesn't really bother me. So not only am I happier and more present in the event, I'm happier the next day, and I'm happier in the long term. And don't get me wrong, I will have some days where I want to join in, but that was just a personal choice that I am not going to influence anyone else, because I know it's very much a personal choice. So yeah, number 5 is a non-toxic lifestyle. And what I mean by non-toxic, I don't mean toxic people, but I also do quite toxic people, but I don't mean toxic people. I mean things like products. They're like candles, or your moisturizers, or plastics. All these things contain toxic chemicals that affect your hormones and your general health, and that contribute to diseases. So the reason I included this in this part is because one thing that does affect you and your skin and your body and everything is hormone health. Now, again, everything that I've said already is contributing to your hormone health, but this also is a factor that I think people aren't so aware about, and it's definitely a change. You do have to really think about what you're buying, but it is so beneficial for your long-term health as well as your hormones. Oh, I put for number 6, fake it till you make it, and then I've written about, because I'm getting this off my blog, I've written about how walk around as the main character, because you are. Walk around as the main character because you are. And then obviously for confidence, just little hacks to keep your head up. Like, actually though, when I was a chiropractor, and she's telling me today that it's not very good for your posture if your head's up, but I think if you have your head up, you feel more confident. Maintain eye contact, shoulders back, which I'm not doing very good right now because I'm fidgeting, but shoulders back, talk slowly and with like reassurance. That's one thing I'm not very good at. I'm quite an ummer and ahra, but we'll get there. Yeah, that's just a little hack to glow from the confidence that you're faking. Unless you've actually got real confidence, then you're absolutely fine. I don't know why you're watching this. Anyway, on top of that, I've just got some other extra little things such as lymphatic drainage, which also depuffs you from your lymphatic drainage because it drains the water retention that you can get from things like alcohol and stress and just daily living. And just generally making sure that you are happy and doing things that you enjoy will allow you to glow. Like, you know, when they say that someone gets rid of someone and they say you're glowing because you're happier, just do things that make you happy, and just be nicer towards yourself. When you look in the mirror, say something nice to yourself. Stop being so negative. Stop looking in the mirror to pick out something you hate about yourself. That is really, really bad for you. When you are talking negatively upon yourself, you are actually releasing hormones that actually affect your general health and can contribute to diseases. So stop talking negatively about yourself. If you catch yourself doing it, stop. And also, if you start talking nicely to yourself, your perception then changes as well, and then you have a much better perception about yourself and your life. And then the good things end up happening because your perception is tunnel vision to the good things, and you realise how grateful you are for your life, even if you're not where you want to be, blah blah blah. I see it all the time. If you're not where you want to be, you are so grateful. You should be grateful where you are now because you're watching this on something. That's one thing to be grateful for. Happiness does come from enjoying life right now and looking for the good things in life right now, and stop looking for the things you lack. Also, just little things like learn some hobbies, educate yourself, just little things that help you elevate as a person, because once you become a better person, you become more glowy. One thing I'm actually trying to work on is becoming more feminine, hence why you might have noticed that I started wearing more makeup, because I want to appear more feminine, because I'm quite good at walking around like a homeless person, because I just don't make an effort with myself. But just little things like I've started dancing again and all that, just to make sure that I sort of get back in that feminine. And also in that, obviously once you feel feminine, you are going to appear more feminine and more confident and more classy, I guess. But in that, becoming more feminine includes slowing down and trusting that things will work out for you. So starting with one or with all of those habits, you will ultimately start glowing internally and externally. Not only will you look better, feel better, but you'll have more energy, you'll be less tired, and when you are less tired, you're happier, and when you're happier, your life is better, and when your life is better, you're happier, and when you're happier, you're going to combat challenges better. It's all just interlinked, honestly, which is why I just want to get my point across so much about how simple little changes like that will just give you such a better life. I also just wanted to add, I have just bought a book out called Happiness is a Habit, which just has a few mindset changes that can allow you to rewire your mindset for a better life. It's linked in the description down below, so please check it out if you are motivated to improve your life.